Hi guys, it's me again, Sir Ace, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video guys, I will be discussing with you how to find the coordinates of your foci, the coordinates of your vertices, the endpoints of your transverse and transverse axis together with the coordinates or the endpoints of your conjugate axis and the endpoints of your latus rectum of a hyperbola. So if you want to know more, to learn more about this specific topic, then just keep on watching. So first and foremost, I would like to thank all of you guys for supporting me, for watching the videos that I am doing until today, because I already reached 500 subscribers. So thank you very much sa inyo guys. So I will never stop doing videos like this kung saan makakatulong naman ako sa inyo, especially dun sa mga ating mga mag-aaral na talaga namang nangangailangan ngayon ng mga lessons with regards to math dahil nga meron tayong pandemic na kinakaharap. So maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. So, first, nais munang batiin ulit, first daw, second na pala. So, secondly, I would like to greet all of the teachers out there ng happy Teachers Day to all of you, to all of us, and sana maging healthy pa rin tayo and laban lang tayo despite of this pandemic that we are facing right now. So, kaya natin to, pagkakameron tayo ng quality education sa tulong din, of course, nating mga guro together with the other people na talagang part ng learning process natin. Ano po? Banas. So, ang banas, guys. So, dahil nga mabanas kasi walang aircon dito ngayon. So, tiis tayo ngayon. So, since Teacher's Day naman, so hayaan natin yung banas na yan. Minsan lang tayong magkameron ng pawis. Banas. So, the first one is that I will be giving example first. So, this is already about a hyperbola. So, last time in my previous lesson about Precalculus, I discussed about ellipse. So, sabi, ellipse is just hyperbola is like an ellipse because it have two axes. We also have two foci, we have two vertices, and we have two latus rectum, yung endpoints, and also meron din siyang dalawang symmetry. Ano po? So, for this example, such that x squared over 4 minus y squared over 12 is equal to 1. So we all know that it must always be equated to 1, just like a hyperbola, just like an ellipse. So last time naka-equate ang ating ellipse sa 1, so also po ang hyperbola dapat is naka-equate siya sa 1. So the first thing that you need to consider is kung saan ba nakasulat na form yung ating pong given. Ano po? So, kung mapapansin nyo dito, x squared over 4 minus y squared over 12 is equal to 1. So, it is written in the form x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared equals to 1. So, best thing para malaman nyo kung ano po ba ang focal axis ninyo, kung nasaan si A, that means it is your focal axis. Ano po? So, ibig sabihin, doon naglalay yung inyong vertices, yung inyong pong foci, and also the center of your hyperbola. So, dahil ang ating denominator na may a squared dito is yung x squared, ibig sabihin, horizontal siya. Nandun siya sa ating x-axis, yung ating focal axis. Ano po? So, paano po natin makukuha yung ating coordinates ng ating foci at ng ating vertices? So, simple lang po. So, kagaya na sinabi ko kanina, you have to identify kung ano ba yung form niya, kung saan siya nakasulat. And from that form, malalaman nyo na yung kanyang focal axis. So, since this is a horizontal one, so alam natin na siya ay nandun sa X. Yung ating foci, yung ating vertices, and also yung center. So, ito example na to is written or the origin or the center is at the origin. Ano po? Kasi wala naman siyang H and K. So, dito is wala siyang H and K. So, automatically, ang ating center is at 0, 0. So, in this example, so, para mahanap natin yung ating foci, so alam natin na siya ay nasa X. Ano po? So, since we're dealing with the coordinates, alam natin na may X and Y. So, we have X and Y. So, the one here is your X and one Y is the other one. So, dahil alam natin that our foci lies on our x-axis, nasa x-axis siya, tapos ay, ibig sabihin nun, yung y natin is 0. Naka-0 na siya. Ano po? So, 0 na yung ating y. Kasi ang ating focal axis ay nasa horizontal. So, x natin is just the same as kung paano natin kinukuha yung ating foci ng ating ellipse. So, for you to be able to get your foci, you have to identify your A, your B, and your C. So, how are we going to do that? So, A is equal to the square root of, ang A natin dito sa example is yung 4. So, 4. So, the square root of 4 is 2. So, your B here is, B square is 12. So, 12. So, 12 is square root of 12 is 4 times 2 square root of 3. Okay? So, yun yun. So, 2 square root of 3 ang ating B. So, para naman makuha natin yung C natin, we're just going to add the square ng dalawa. Ano po? So, add yung A at saka yung B. Yung square, A square at saka yung B square natin. So, this will be 12 plus 4 is equal to the square root of 16. And the square root of 16 is 4. So, meaning, we already have our A, we have our B, and we have our C. So, madali na po nating malalaman kung ano po ang foci natin. Kasi po, para po makuha po natin yung foci natin, this is plus or minus C, 0. Ano po? So, plus or minus C, 0. So, since our C is 4, so this will be plus or minus C is 4, 0. Or 4, 0, and negative 4, 0. Ano, so your foci ay plus or minus 4, 0. Or 4, 0, and negative 4, 0. So as simple as that. So it is very important that you know your A, your B, and your C. Okay? So how about your vertices? So how are we going to find your vertices? So let me erase this. So for your vertices naman, to find for your vertices, ano po, so ang ating naman pong ginagamit dyan is, or the coordinate of our vertices, if siya ay, or kapag naglalay siya is dun sa ating x-axis, is plus or minus a 0. Ano po? So dahil nga sinabi natin kanina na yung focal axis natin is horizontal, ibig sabihin yung ating foci, yung ating vertices ay nandun po sa X. Ano po? Kasi horizontal. So X. Pagka nasa Y, ibig sabihin ang isisiro natin is yung X. Okay? So your vertices will be plus or minus A, and plus minus A is, what is our A again? Yun, 2. So, plus or minus 2, 0. Or this plus or minus 2, 0 is positive 2, 0, and the negative 2, 0. Okay? So you have now your foci and your vertices. Okay? So this time, we are going to get now the endpoints naman ng ating transverse axis. Ano po? So, the transverse axis. So, tatandaan po ninyo ito. So, kung ano po ang inyong vertices, yun din po ang inyong endpoints ng inyong transverse axis. Ano po? So, since yung vertices mo ay plus or minus a, 0, so the endpoints of your transverse axis is also plus or minus a, 0. Yan. So, madali lang po tandaan. Para makuha nyo yung endpoints ng inyong transverse axis, kailangan nyo lang malaman yung vertices nyo. Pag alam nyo ang vertices nyo, automatic you already know the endpoints of your transverse axis because they are just the same. So in this case, since our vertices is positive 2, 0, so meaning we have positive 2, 0 and then negative 2, 0. Ano? So parehas lang po siya ng kanyang vertices. So, kung ano ang inyong vertices, that is also your transverse axis. Okay? So, that is how you're going to find your foci, your vertices, and your transverse axis. So, this time, we're going to deal now with how to find the endpoints naman ng conjugate axis ninyo. So, paano naman natin makukuha yung conjugate axis ninyo? So, tatanggalin ko na to. So, tatandaan po ninyo ha, kung ano po ang vertices ninyo, yun din po ang endpoints ng inyong transverse axis. So, paano naman po ang ating conjugate axis. So, for the conjugate axis naman, para naman makuha natin yung ating conjugate axis, since kanina sabi ko, naglalay siya, kung matatandaan nyo, yung transverse axis natin sa ellipse is like the major axis. Yung major axis, yun yung axis na kung saan doon natin makikita yung ating vertices, yung ating foci. Nandun siya. So dito naman po sa hyperbola, that is what you call the transverse axis. Tapos yung minor axis nyo naman is your conjugate axis naman sa hyperbola. So wag kayong malilito. So your conjugate axis is just the minor axis in ellipse, while the transverse axis is just the major axis in ellipse. So yung sa conjugate axis is somehow the same lang din nung pagkuhanin nyo ng minor axis ng inyong sa ellipse. So kasi kung matatandaan nyo, kapag ang ating major axis is a horizontal one, ang ating, para makuha natin yung ating conjugate axis, ang ginagamit natin dyan is 0 plus or minus b naman. So ang sinisiro naman natin is yung x. Kung matatandaan nyo dun sa aking video about ellipse. So sinisiro natin si x, tapos ang nagkakameron ng value is yung ating y. Kasi nga siya is naman yung nasa y naman siya. Because we're dealing with the y-axis na. Or the conjugate axis or the binary axis when it comes to ellipse. So you just going to substitute. So this is 0. Ang ating b po ay, ano nga ba ang b natin? Your b is 2 square root of 3. So plus or minus 2 square root of 3. Yeah. So meaning the endpoints of your conjugate axis is 0 and positive 2 over 3, 2 square root of 3 and 0 negative 2 square root of 3. 2 square root of 3. Okay, so yan po. So we have the conjugate axis or the endpoints of your conjugate axis. Yan, so we have 0, 2 square root of 3 and 0, negative 2 square root of 3. So that is your conjugate axis. So you just need to be familiar with this. 0 plus or minus b. So kapag ang ating focal axis ay horizontal, then ang conjugate axis mo ay magiging ganito. Pagka naman siya is vertical, ang magiging 0 naman ay yung ating y. Okay? So next is, ano nga kasunod? So endpoints ng latus rectum naman. So para naman makuha natin yung endpoints ng ating latus rectum, so I will be deleting this, erasing this pala. So para makuha naman natin yung ating endpoints ng latus rectum, wala nang tinta. Ayan. So latus rectum. So para naman makuha natin yung ating endpoints ng ating latus rectum, we're just going to use the formula negative c plus or minus b square over a. Diba? Natatandaan ninyo, that is just the same yung kagaya ng nasa ellipse. Ano po, para makuha natin yung ating latus rectum, kailangan lang natin gamitin itong ating formula na ito. So, kapag ang ating x, ang ating focal ay nandun sa x, focal axis is horizontal. If our focal axis is horizontal, then meaning to say your x will be the c. Yung c po ang inyong magiging c. Ano po? Yung x. Kapag naman ang inyong focal axis is a vertical one, kapag vertical naman siya, ang magiging c naman is yung y. Okay? So you're just going to substitute the given. So this will be negative c. What is our negative c again? So negative 4 plus or minus b square over a. So kapag sinubstitute natin siya, tanggalin na natin siya. So pag sinubstitute natin siya is negative 4 plus or minus 6. While the other one is positive 4 and plus or minus 6. Okay. And that is the endpoints of your latus rectum. So as simple as that. So you just need to be familiar with or when you are going to use this coordinate, negative c plus or minus b square over a, then substitute nyo lang ano yung b square ninyo, ano yung a square nyo, and then simplify. So in this case, yung b square ninyo is 2 square root of 3, tama ba? Or square root of 12 divided by 2, square root of 12 divided by 2 is plus or minus 6. Okay, so tama ba yun? Tingnan ko nga kung tama ang ating computation. So plus or minus 6. Okay, so that is correct. So that is how you're going to find the latus rectum of your hyperbola or the endpoints of your latus rectum. Okay na? So how about the directrix naman? So how are you going to find your directrix? So para naman makuha ninyo yung inyong directrix kapag ang inyong focal axis ay horizontal, we're just going to use this one, directrix. So gagamitin nyo lang is x equals plus or minus a square over c. Okay? So kapag sinubstitute nyo siya, ano ang inyong magiging sagot dyan is x is equal to, ang a square natin is 4. 4 over your c is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So diba? A square ninyo, ano ang a square ninyo? 4. Ayun, 4. Ano ang c ninyo? Ang c natin is 4 as well. So 4 divided by 4, so plus or minus 1. Okay. So 4 is equal to plus or minus 1. So that is your directrix. So x is equal to plus or minus 1. And that is how you're going to find your directrix. Okay, so we are done with the first part of this video. So this time naman is how about naman kung ang ating given is not written in standard form, just like this. Hindi pa siya nakasulat sa standard form, but it is still written in general form. Naka-general form pa siya. So paano naman natin makukuha yung ating pong coordinates ng foci, ng ating vertices, yung endpoints ng transverse at saka ng conjugate axis and also the latus rectum ng inyong hyperbola. So sobrang banas guys. So, pasensya na wala tayong electric pan ngayon. Kasi pagka nag-electric pan ako, medyo maingay. So, halimbawa, we have this example. We have, sabi example ko isa. Yan, wala na. Yun, ito. Dito muna tayo sa mga madadali. So, 9y square minus 16x square minus 144 equals to 0. Yan. Nalaglag siya. Okay. Yan, sobrang baras, guys. So, halimbawa, we have this example. We have 9y square minus 16x square minus 144 is equal to 0. So, it is written in general form. Ano po? So, para naman makuha natin or ma-write natin siya into standard form, kailangan ay naka-equal siya sa 1. So, para maging ganon, para mag-equal siya sa 1, sabi natin, we're going to use the addition property of equality wherein we're going to add 144 both sides para makancel yung nandito. So, we add 144 here is equal to 144 dito. So, makakancel na to. So, ang matitira na lang is 9y square minus 16x square equals 144. Yan. Okay, so it is not yet equated to 1. Kaya ang gagawin natin, we are going to divide all terms by 144. 144 and 144. So, this will be 144 divided by 144 is 1. Ano po? So, 9 divided by 144 is 1 over 16. Tama ba yun? Tama. 1 over 16. So, dahil 1, may 1 lang doon, so it is invisible na kahit hindi na natin isulat. So, minus 16 divided by 144 is 1 over ilan to? 9. Tama ba? 144 divided by 16 is 9. So, we have this now. So, kung mapapansin nyo, so from standard, from general form, na-convert na natin siya into standard form. Ano po? So, from here, from this standard form, pwede na natin makuha yung A, pwede na natin makuha yung B, and also yung C. Pag meron na tayong value ng A, B, and C, it is very easy for us to find yung ating mga vertices together with the endpoints na hinahanap natin. So, let us find A, B, and C. So, para hindi, so, A. Ayan, itutuloy ko kasi may tumawag, guys. So, nag-cut yung ating video. So, shout out to sa tumawag. Number lang, hindi ko kilala. So, kagaya na sinabi ko kanina, it is very easy for you to find the coordinates and also the endpoints ng ating mga ng foci, the coordinates ng foci and also the vertices, tapos yung endpoints ng transverse at ng conjugate, and the latus rectum as well, if you know already your A, your B, and your C. So, from here, kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, titignan nyo muna kung saan siyang form nakasulat. So, kung mapapansin niyo dito, y square over 16 minus x square over 9. So, siya is nakasulat sa y square over a square minus x square over b square is equal to 1. So, sa first example natin kanina, sa ating first example kanina, kung mapapansin ninyo, yung may a na denominator is yung x. So, this time, ang meron namang denominator na a is yung y. So, what will be your a? So, to get your a, you need to get the square root of a, which is 16. So, 16. So, the square root of 16 is 4. So, your b, para makuha naman yung b, square root ng 9 is 3. And to get your c, you just need to add yung dalawa. So, 16 plus 9. So, that is c is equal to square root of 25. And C is equal to 5. So, we have now the value of your A, your B, and your C, such that A is 4, your B is 3, and your C is 5. So, this time, dahil may mga values na tayo ng ating A, B, and C, it is very easy for you now to find the coordinates. Okay? So, sobrang basic na niyan para sa inyo. So, paano natin makukuha yung ating foci? So, starting with the foci. So, kung mapapansin ninyo dito, sa ating example, ang ating denominator na may a is yung y. Tama ba? Ay, na-delete ko pa, nabura ko para na-erase ko. So, dito ay, saan ba yun? Nawala yung copy. So, ito ay, yan pala, y square over 16 minus x square over 9 equals 1. So, dito, ang ating a ay 16. Ang ating b is 9. Tapos yung a natin, ang kanyang numerator is y. So, ibig sabihin, yung focal axis ninyo is vertical. Yung inyong foci and your vertices ay nandun sa y-axis. Nasa y-axis siya. So, dahil siya is nasa y-axis, automatic, na ang isisiro ninyo is yung inyong x. So, ang isisiro ninyo is yung inyong x. Okay? So, para makuha natin siya, plus or minus c. Okay? So, your foci, so 0, plus or minus c. So, what is your c? So, your c is 5. So, 0 plus or minus 5 is the same as 0, 5, and 0, negative 5. Okay? So, 0, 5, 0, negative 5. So, next is your vertices. Vertices. Yan. So, para naman makuha ninyo yung vertices nyo, 0 plus or minus a. So, 0 plus or minus a. So, this will be 0. Ano ang a natin? So, 4 plus or minus 4. So, this will be 0, 4, and 0, negative 4. Yan. So, sobrang dali niya. So, para makuha ninyo yung endpoints ng inyong transverse axis, sabi ko kanina kung ano ang inyong vertices, that is also your transverse axis. So, since your vertices is 0 plus or minus 4, then your transverse axis is also 0 plus or minus 4. So, your transverse axis is also 0 plus or minus 4. So, this is 0, 4, and 0, negative 4. Yan. Okay, so parehas lang lagi po sila. Yan, 0, negative 4. Parang hindi na maintindihan yung sulat ko. So, ganun lang po siya kadali. How about your conjugate axis? Tanggalin na natin to. So, I hope you understand how you are going to find your foci, your vertices, and your transverse axis. So, this time, hanapin naman natin is yung inyong conjugate. So, conjugate. Yan. So, sa conjugate axis naman, sabi ko kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, pag ang nakasiro sa inyo is, kapag siya is vertical, ang isinisiro natin is, kanina diba, sa first example natin, ang zero natin is yung x. So, 0 yung x. So, this time, dahil lang ito ay vertical, sa horizontal, ang 0 ay x. Pagka naman, ang vertical, ang focal axis natin, ang 0 natin is yung y. So, 0 ay ito. So, plus or minus b. Okay, so then substitute. Plus or minus b, ano ang b natin? So, 3, 0. Sorry. 3, 0. And, so this means plus or minus 3, positive 3, 0, positive 3, 0, and negative 3, 0. So, ito po ang endpoints ng inyong conjugate axis. Yan. So, how about your latus rectum? Latus rectum naman. So, dahil nga, sabi ko kanina, ang kanyang, sa unang example, ang may negative c at saka positive c natin is yung ating x kasi yung focal axis natin ay horizontal. Since ang ating ngayon ay, ang ating focal axis kanina is horizontal, tama, horizontal. So, dahil horizontal yung ating focal axis, ang ating may c is yung ating x. Kung ano ang focal axis niya, then yun din po ang papalitan nyo lang ng c. So, dito, since ito is, ang ating focal axis po ay vertical, ibig sabihin, ang ating c ay yung y. So, just use this latus rectum. So, di ba, ang ating ano dyan is plus or minus b square over a ba? A. Tapos ay minus c. And then the other one is plus or minus b square over a positive c. Ano, so, pagka ang ating, uulitin ko ha, kapag ito po ang ating focal axis ay horizontal, ang ating pong c ay nandun sa x. Ano, so nasa x. Kapag naman vertical, just like this, nasa y siya, so nandun din sa y yung inyong c, plus or minus c. So then just substitute. Ano po, so substitute nyo lang. So b square, plus or minus b square, ang plus or minus b square is 9 over 4. Ang negative c natin is negative 5. So, negative c. So, 9 over 4, negative 5, while the other one is plus or minus 9 over 4, positive 5. So, ito yung endpoints ng ating latus rectum ngayon. Ano po? So, paano po nakuha yung 9 over 4? So, b square, ano ang b square ninyo? 16, divide by your a square. Ang b square ninyo is 9. 9 ba? 9 over, your a square is, your a is 4, so 9 over 4. Ano? So, next is your, ano pa kasunod? Anong kasunod na kinuha natin? Ang kasunod na kukunin natin is yung, wala na pala. Ayun, yung ano pala, directrix. Yung directrix natin. Ano, so, nakalimutan ko yung directrix. So, the last one is your directrix. Paano naman natin makukuha yung inyong directrix? So, kanina, para makuha ninyo yung inyong directrix ay nandun siya sa y. Nasa x siya. Ano po, nasa x. So, para naman makuha ninyo yung directrix ninyo dito, nandun naman siya sa y equals plus or minus c, a square over c. So, you just need to substitute. So, y equals, what is your a? Plus or minus a mo, ang a mo is 4 over, ang a square mo pala, sorry. A square ha, a square is 16 over, your c is 5. So, 16 over 5. So, yan yung inyong directrix.